It's March 18th around here. This has been a fun week at Totally Guitars with some songs that I'm sure many of you didn't see coming. We'll get to those in just a few minutes, but I want to tell you about some of the things that have been going on around here. First of all, most of the auction items that we have at eBay to help raise money for our buddy MattB have now finished, and I certainly want to thank everybody who has contributed there and gotten involved, because we're definitely chipping away at what we need to do to help him in his battle. So there are still a few more things, and so I want to make sure that everybody knows that we've got, I think, 5 more items up there, and this is one of them. This beautiful Taylor 414 CE electronic stuff, pickup, cutaway, everything you need to be pretty much a one-man band, except you got to practice and get some of that other stuff down too. So this is still available. We have a set of CDs that will be personally autographed to whoever bids the most on that. Set of 4 of my CDs. Beatles collection, Yesterday's News, I think Cobble Creek and El Dorado are the 4 that are in there. And then a couple of other really cool things. 2 private 30-minute Skype lessons with me and a lifetime membership to TG that will include a couple of lessons as well. So those things are all still kind of on the dock. And one other thing, and that is the ability for you to pick any song. I know, could put me on the spot here. Any song that, especially that you think a lot of guitar players want to learn. That would be really helpful. And we will do our best to make it a target lesson. So anyway, those 5 things are still happening over the next day or 2, so really check it out, especially this guitar. This is really sweet. Works for leads, works for strumming. Anyway, it's really nice, especially with these Elixir strings on here. Oh, I'm not sure I'm supposed to endorse those guys yet. So that's it. We had some another bunch of new stuff come out this week. It was in the song things as there's songs that were loosely related, and these were all songs that I have people work on leads to. So we opened up the week with Surf Tune from 1960. Walk Don't Run, of course, by The Ventures. Goes back a few years before that. Chet Atkins did it, and but of course was written even a few years before that by Johnny Smith, jazz pop guitar player from the 50s. And on Tuesday, well, although somebody, you know who you are, guessed that I might be doing this song, I don't think many people saw this coming. I gotta tell you, I had a lot of fun putting that lesson together, and I kind of look at that song as one of my personal guilty pleasures of the 80s. Had a problem with a lot of stuff that was in it that was happening in the 80s, not with that one. That one just grabbed me. Aha, Take on Me. So yeah, I definitely had fun putting that lesson together. Then of course we had a lesson that most of you know that I'm a big Al Stewart fan, and we've had a campfire lesson up for Year of the Cat for a while, but I really felt like I never did the song justice, because I really hold this song personally responsible for a lot of things that I learned about music, and it was really from hearing Year of the Cat and then getting a little bit more involved in Al's music and eventually getting to know him and play with him and stuff. And I hope some of you had a chance to check out, we did include in that lesson, aside from all the leads, along with the leads, a little bonus track of one of the times that I got to play with Al, of us playing Year of the Cat. And of course, he opened it up by just starting with, I heard it through the grapevine, and I just started playing along and played a few leads, and he started playing a few leads, and as it wound down, he broke into Year of the Cat. So I hope you get a chance to check out that, and unfortunately, of course, we don't have video for that, but we got a nice little slideshow, pictures of the cover going along with that. So that's all in the Year of the Cat lesson. And then Thursday, speaking of songs that I had a lot of fun putting together, this is one I really did not think I would ever put up at the site, but as it started rolling through my head, I thought, you know, this is another one that's going to catch people by surprise. Stray Cat Strut. And yes, if you guessed I had a blast doing that, you were absolutely right. I love those guys. I love Brian Setzer. He just comes up with brilliant stuff, big inspiration, and as I started messing around with that and realized, you know, you can actually play all these leads on the acoustic guitar. They're fairly difficult, but still it makes it a lot of fun. So I hope you guys are having a good time messing around with Stray Cat Strut. So, and then today we went back to the Fly on the Wall series. Sometimes we divert from that, and this was a lesson I shot with my student Fred. So many of you have seen Fred do other stuff. Working on My Sweet Lord and Take It Easy, and had even a few others a long time ago. I'm not sure that they're all still around. But a few months ago, he and I were working on Walk, Don't Run, so we got a little fly on the wall of Fred and his Walk, Don't Run lesson. So anyway, that was it for the target releases, and then had just enough student reviews to fill up the week too. We looked at a little Dear Prudence finger-picking tune. Looked at a couple tunes that were not target songs. I'll tell you, they were both really interesting. One was a John Mayer song, In Your Atmosphere, and the other was a hymn that Dan found, I guess in a hymn book probably, or that had some guitar arrangements. And in my review of it, if you hadn't seen it, it did remind me of John Fahey, and as I talked about John Fahey, saw Dan's response that he hadn't heard of him or was not familiar with John Fahey. So if any finger-picking guitar players out there are well, every guitar player out there should be familiar with John Fahey. Do a little search and check out stuff on him, because Fahey was another huge influence on me when I heard him as a teenager in terms of finger-picking. In particular, it was this. That little move of a backwards roll that is done in triplets grabbed my ear, and I had to figure out what the heck he was doing. And then I proceeded to go buy 48 John Fahey albums and drive my family into bankruptcy, I think. But anyway, so John Fahey, big influence, and Dan's video of Doxology reminded me a lot of that. So what else? So we had a little, Rick was doing some blues stuff. That was very cool. He's come a long way, and I appreciate hearing some of the things that we've done in the country blues package and stuff. And then we took another look at a Rolling Stones tune, Waiting on a Friend. So keep those review videos coming in, because I'm trying to keep up that we have a few new ones every week, and they're dwindling a little bit. Don't forget, try to make it a target song, and again, but I'll do some songs that are not target songs if I think there's something useful in there for everybody to hear. So don't worry too much about that. Two other things I wanted to mention. We had a couple of episodes in the Luthier's Corner of Keith Holland talking about the Buzz Feiten tuning system. Now, this is a really interesting thing, so you got to watch that video. It's on our homepage in the section down at the bottom where we have stuff on the Luthier's Corner. So be sure to check out the last two episodes that included my buddy Keith Holland, because he has a lot of great knowledge and fascinating things to impart to everybody. Speaking of Luthiers, Bill, in case people have been wondering, one of our target members appeared to have fallen off the face of the earth, but he's been keeping a blog for us in the community section here at TG about his guitar building adventures. It's fascinating. I'm really glad that you put a post in the forum and let everybody know that this was happening, because some people don't get to the blog section of the community. I know there are a lot of things to keep you busy here at TG, and this is so yeah, it's really great that you put a post in there in the forum to let everybody know that this was what was going on, because it is fascinating. So if you haven't had a chance to check out what Die Guy, our member, is doing in the Luthier department, be sure to check out his forum post and the blog that is over in the community. So that's anyway, very, very cool, and I really appreciate you sharing that with us. So I think that's it for the news. Next week, kind of another different sort of thing. I'm going to hit a couple of songs. I think they're all going to be from the 70s. One is going to be one that's been on our top 50 list for a very long time, and it's now become sort of a special request by some members that I moved some things up on the to-do list because of some weddings coming up and things like that. So I'm going to see what I can do about that. And so mostly some cool things from the 70s, some finger-picking stuff, some classics from some of those artists and things like that. And one or two surprises, because if you notice, over the last few weeks, we've had some kind of themed weeks where a lot of songs by one band or something like that. And when I'm doing lessons on a band or something, I sometimes have a very long list of lessons that I want to do from them, and then sometimes I go ahead and do like all of them that I want to do, and I just don't want to subject you to 15 Camel songs back to back to back to back to back. So I got to spread them out a little bit. So anyway, a few little bits and pieces will be leaking out over the next couple weeks too of extra songs that were tied into some of the themes from the last 5 or 6 weeks. So I'll let you speculate on what's going on there too. So anyway, that is it for this middle of March, day after St. Patrick's Day around here. I hope everybody enjoyed their corned beef and cabbage. We had tacos around here. We sometimes mix up, my family is so multicultural that on St. Patrick's Day we do Mexican food. We bring in our Cinco de Mayo dinner, and then we'll probably have corned beef in May. You never know what's going to happen around here. So, well, that is it. This is not a hint. I'm not doing this song. I just felt like playing it because this guitar makes it so easy to play bar chords. Okay, I better get out of here. Actually, I better get back to work. So that's it. March 18th, signing off. See you next week.